Hey everybody, how you doing today? I'm having a good day today. So I thought, I'd talk to you guys a little, see how you're doing. As you can tell, I'm a little, we used to say, bright-eyed and a little more bushy-tailed than I was just a few days ago. I have to tell you, being in the hospital is so hard on the emotional well-being of someone in my situation. And it's not, I don't know exactly what it is that causes it to be and feel so oppressive. Now, I recognize after looking over a lot of the documentation that they sent home with me, I have been fixing myself. Now, I know that I need medical help to, be able to probably get years longer. But now that I am not influenced by whatever energy is in that hospital, I can tell you I am looking much forward to every single day now, because they were able to help me cut some things out of my life that were harming my body. And I appreciate that greatly, because I've been working very hard. I have not had to use metformin or insulin, yet they tell me I'm diabetic, although all I see is natural blood sugar rise to whatever it is I eat. And then, of course, within 8 hours, and as I get older, it takes a little longer, my sugar goes back to normal. And it stays in normal range. So what I was thinking I was fighting against was diabetes, although I could easily, if I let my diet get out of control. That I'm aware of, because I did get diabetes when I was in Chicago, and I got close to 300 pounds. Yeah, I know, imagine this little old lady, 300 pounds. But long winters are very hard on my body. I cannot move around very well in cold weather. I have had a lot of physical body issues because of car accidents, falls, just some fighting, just life. That it causes broke bones, it causes later issues after they've healed, especially if most of that was never treated by a doctor. Only a few times did I ever receive medical treatment. So, but today I woke up, I had a really decent night. I'm having trouble with one of my medications because it is a blood thinner that I gotta inject into my stomach twice a day. And I am having a really bad time with it because I cannot stand being poked anymore. 2 weeks in the hospital of being poked multiple times a day and blood drawn and all of that. Yeah, I just can't get myself to give myself the injection correctly. I've tried twice, and this morning I ended up with a big knot, and most of it didn't even make it into my body. So, but I do have the warfarin, and as my brain begins to function a little better like it was before the heart attack and before the hospitalization, I'm not so emotionally vulnerable. And I don't feel quite as, it's over. Because, I've known that for so long now. It's been over since, 2013. I got one more chance. And I made it last all the way to 2025. So, yeah. I have a lot of strange beliefs, and I get that. To a lot of people, my belief systems are, they're beyond old. Okay, I mean, my parents were the boomers. I was the last of the boomer generation, so I didn't go through all that they did. But I've gone through enough in this life, in 60 years. And it's been the biggest battle I've ever fought, was for my own right to exist, my own right to be valued. Fighting for my own right by people who told me they loved me. See, we don't understand what rights are. And I think that is what a lot of the confusion in countries come from. Because we either go one extreme or the other. Me personally, I like middle ground. A lot more to work with. And, at least 50-50 odds of good going in your favor. So, okay, I gotta let my dog in. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry guys, my dog wanted in so he can go climb in bed with Daddy. But anyway, I may end up on a different subject now because I quickly do lose my train of thought. I think that happens to a lot of people. Anyway, I'm actually the kind of person who does live by what I believe in. And with this last heart attack, I really get the gist of how right I was in what I told my mother I believed in about living and dying. I don't think it's bad to get old. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a bad thing to try to get too old. I watch my children struggle every day with their lives, their families, the same things I had created for myself. And I see them facing the same challenges and new challenges and taking different approaches and sometimes using some of my approaches. So I do see generations getting better. But there has always been this kind of lost tribe, I guess you would call it, of humanity, that they still are part hunter-gatherer and modern. And those are the kind of people we're going to be really reliant upon for our survival. Things get hard. It's not just going to be these preppers. These preppers are hoping to build their own kingdoms and know it now. If you're a prepper and anybody sees you on here and it does come down, your places, it's the first place they're going after, because they know there will be more coming to them and they're going to be able to set the rules. This is the reset of humanity every time. Always that way. What do you think the rich try to hoard so much? so much more than they need beyond their own existence. I just wanted the basics. Food on the table, and clothes on my back, and a roof over my head. And since I was raised with electricity, having electricity which can provide essentials for comfortable living, since we're no longer accustomed to our own environment. And in some ways that's good, that's evolution. You know, and geneticists, they're always claiming our evolution, we're coming to an extinction and blah, 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 blah. I don't buy it. Don't you believe in that garbage? That's like just convincing you you're gonna die. That's all. Well, I hate to tell you, from your conception, you began to die. As soon as your cells divided and you became a living being, you are also beginning your dying. It's unnatural the way that we are clinging to longevity. After 60 years of, I'm talking hard, back-breaking labor, scrubbing floors, you know, doing laundry by hand, yeah. When I think back to the way I have survived to where I'm at now, is unbelievable. My mother left me what is, without a doubt, my utopia. It was always my dream home, my dream of living out in the woods, a place where I could feel free. Because how many of you really feel free? Let me tell you something, you wouldn't know what freedom is. It's not the right to do whatever you want. That's not freedom. It's having no responsibilities. And with no responsibilities, you have no purpose. But there is a purpose in that as well. Because if you're just wandering through your life and you're not living it, you're just wandering through, you still have a purpose. And that's to experience life with nothing but you. But you. You are finding you. When my daughter got out of jail and came here and visited with me, which was the most wonderful time, I knew why she needed to come here and what she was hoping to get. She didn't come here to get what she could from me, to get money, or she came to heal. She literally came to heal her heart, her mind. And I gave her the space, without judgment, to do that. At least I hope I did. Because her coming here was not about me. It was about protecting my child so she could heal. And she found enough strength and thinks that she has healed enough that she could begin trying to get her life where she wants it to be. It's really hard to live by what you say you believe in. Religions tell you what you're supposed to believe in. But the average human actually has a moral code built right into them. They don't need a religion. I'm one of those. You don't steal because you're just harming others. You say stealing is a harmless crime. That's like saying shooting someone is a harmless crime. They are one and the same, people. The effect that comes out of it is one and the same. And while you're trying to decide what your moral values and moral codes are, you're judging. We have to. We have to judge. I know what it says in the Bible. I don't care. That's wrong. We are supposed to make judgment calls. That's how our species survives. If I make a bad judgment call, bad things happen to me, correct? So, if I make a good one, most likely good things are going to happen. But that's everything we are. We have to learn to take who we are as a species, as a person, as a being, and stop trying to dress it up like it's some magnificent flower above all others. I can't say I don't believe in God. So, because I do. Most definitely believe in God. Jesus, was there a man like Jesus? Yeah, because there's an Angelique like me. And so yeah, but I also know that history is full of thousands of men just like him, who you'll never hear their names spoken because they weren't counted for by history. They weren't considered as a success. So, do I believe that Jesus existed? That he believed there was a way for humanity to be free from all of our suffering and ills? That he knew, they say, the secrets of the universe, because he knew who his Father was. Well, I guess I got the same going on as he does, and I still can't walk on water. I can't feed the masses, though I've tried. And I can't house the homeless. I can't heal the dead and bring them back to life. Although some days I feel like that's what I do every day with myself. The hardest person for me to ever get to know was me. And it's still hard. Really hard. But I've got right now. And I've got however long today is going to give me. Now what am I going to do with it? I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to live it. I get up out of my chair, I move around. Today I've accomplished more than I have in 3 weeks. Because I've almost got my kitchen cleaned up. And my husband has been keeping up with everything while I was in the hospital. So I don't have this big ordeal to come back to. And I've even been able to tend my plants and move around my house without having to stop and breathe through the arrhythmia and chest pains. been really nice. And especially since I'm moving around, my brain is clearing. And I realized, these doctors basically have not told me anything different than I've been hearing since 2013. And I really do believe they could fix all these things. But I always ask myself, just because it could be done, should it be? I'm 60 years in. And I don't really believe in keeping the body alive past its expiration date, so to speak, by having to use major, like dialysis and that kind of thing. Now, I did take care of myself for as rough of a life as I lived. Most of my food that we were eating, especially the last 10 years, were coming from food banks. And I grew up, you worked for it. And you didn't take anything from the government. Because I promise you, they will get it back in 100-fold. That is a corporation, as you can see. And our country is a corporation. So we got to get a little more savvy in our American ways of doing things. And I'm going to close for now because my video is getting really long, which means it's going to take like 10 years for it to, drama of course, for it to finally upload. But it will probably take a couple hours. So it's really nice to be back talking to you guys. I'm going to pause and get this ready to upload and then wash a few more dishes and enjoy my day. American Granny out.